Hello, welcome to The Healing Artist. I'm your host, Frida, and happy hump day healing. Today, friends, I wanted to talk to you about blocked energy fields and using the emotion code to clear those. So the emotion code is a book by Bradley Nelson, and it's something I read a few years ago, and it's something I listened to as an audiobook a few years ago, and it really struck me with this idea that I had also learned from Michael Singer and the surrender release process with his book, The Untethered Soul. It's another way of just like releasing these trapped emotions within the body. But Bradley Nelson teaches a certain specific way to release the trapped emotions in his book. And I have just been reminded of it because I did an emotion code session just with a family member back when my husband and I were in Indiyaki on our trip. And I was reminded of how powerful the tool is that is shared in that book. So for starters, if you haven't read it, it's something that I would totally recommend. If you are interested in different tools for your toolbox in relieving problems, blocked energy fields in your body. If this is something that resonates with you and you have an interest in it, I think that it is quite a good read. There is a fair amount of fluff within it, especially for my first read of it. It was sort of like, show me how to do it, show me how to do it. But it does tell you how to do it. It is sprinkled throughout with a lot of sort of testimonials of people that have been helped with it. Something also that's cool about the emotion code is you can use it with animals because animals also receive trapped emotions. And a really cool thing about it is that you can do it for others with their consent, but you can use your own body or someone else's body as a proxy in order to release the trapped emotions, say for an animal or a child, and you don't have to literally be with the one that is having issues. So say you're having a crying baby and you're like, well, why is the baby crying? You can do muscle testing through yourself or by proxy of another person to find out if the baby has a trapped emotion and then go into it and work on the baby, of course, with the baby's parents' consent or if you are the baby's parents. Oh, Lordy Lou. That was a lot of information in the first 3 minutes. Basically, why am I talking about the emotion code? It's something I often use in the background of life. So, to become a trained emotion code practitioner, there's I think it's like around $2,000 and a course that you take online. And after listening to the audiobook, it's just something that is, as an energy healer already, it's something that just made a ton of sense to me, and it's something I'm able to do quite easily. So I've never gotten the certification because it doesn't seem like I need it necessarily. I can already do it. The other thing about it is that I'm not just doing the emotion code because as an energy healer, it's like that is a great starting point to hone in, but then also using divine light healing. So I'm using it like as a hybrid, but it was definitely a good starting point for me to work with in finding areas of the body that have trapped emotions. So as we go through our lives, different things happen, and when we do not process them fully in the moment, when we do not have the ability to go from A to Z on the emotional scale and just have an emotion process through, sometimes they become trapped within our body and they can actually sit somewhere in the body and then actually affect the surrounding tissues and what create physical pain over a great amount of time can create chronic illness. Even cancer. We can have emotional pain sit within the body and then become something that expresses in physical pain. So we often aren't addressing these kind of things until there is some form of acute physical pain that requires a surgery or you're at the doctor, like there's something genuinely wrong. But sometimes there's that now physical component that can be dealt with surgically, but then there's the emotional component of it too. So the emotion code is one of those ways to get into the unresolved emotional distress and release that. And I think when I first learned the emotion code a few years ago, I just stuck with it, and every day I'd pull 5, 10 trapped emotions out of my body. The way that I went about it, because I'm very methodical and I'm a root and branch kind of person, is I drew like a picture, like I drew a picture of me, and then I would go through the different body parts. So they don't tell you to do this in the book. This is a way that I did it though, but I was like, left hand, do I have any trapped emotions in my left hand? And I would muscle test for that. And then I would go through the left hand and just pull all the trapped emotions that had accumulated within the left hand. There are some areas of my body that I have completely eliminated pain from using this technique and method. And I have always had tricky knees. I've had some injuries in my knees over the years that started, I think, with a skiing accident when I was maybe in 7th or 8th grade when I was in middle school. I had like a twisted knee skiing accident, and I also had like a twisted knee ice skating accident when I was around that same age, maybe a little bit younger. When I was a very little girl, I jumped off of this bench, and this girl babysitter was going to catch me, but she moved out of the way and did not catch me. And I went into this like giant quartz crystal with all of these quartz shards. My grandfather was a rock hound in his backyard, and it went up and into my knee and like just messed up my knee. I still have those scars as an adult. And this specific knee is also where I had a MRSA staph infection, like in my late 20s. So like the knees have always been a place where I've had some like really big stuff. And I've used this technique in the emotion code to actually pull these trapped emotions out of my left and right knees, and gotten it to the point, like I used to have clicking in the knees, and I used to have like just pain. Like I love to walk, but I used to get like physical pain in the knees, like soreness, almost like arthritic style feelings, stabbing pains. And I've been able to pull all of that out, and I haven't had it since pulling these trapped emotions out of my knees. So that's like a physical pain thing that I can just point to and be like, I was able to actually eliminate, using this system, this physical pain from my body. Other areas in which I have been able to eliminate physical pain is like, I've always had some gut issues and like issues with my bowels and constipation and stuff, and using different healing modalities, and this being one of them, I've actually been able to heal through my gut issues, and now I just go to the bathroom like a normal human daily and don't have the pain and suffering and constipation that was like part of my existence in the past. So yeah, give this book a read. Give it an audiobook listen. The author reads it, I'm fairly certain. And see about it. I wanted to talk about it because when I was back visiting my husband's family, there was a situation where I just had the ability to just do a quick little session using it with a family member for fun. And she was doing it for sleep, and we were going in and clearing some emotions so that she was able to sleep. And it did work. It aided and assisted in that. And I actually need to call and check in with her and see how it's going and see if we want to do a little more work in this area on that. But it's really just simple and just goes in and unlocks and releases things quite easily. It's something that I kind of forget about, and then it comes up, and so I wanted to share it with you. as a hump day healing, another tool for your toolbox, it's something I genuinely use and appreciate. And it's just sort of something that is like woven into the fabric of me working as a healer. Like if we have a session together, that might be woven in a way where I check in about a trapped emotion. There's just tools within it that sort of became interwoven, and there's aspects of it that I use just in my general healing. And I really appreciate it and wanted to tell you about it. That's it. That's what I got for you today. Just coming back from Indie Yucky, and we had a wonderful trip. Nothing too terribly exciting to report. I could tell you that I was intending to teach the entire time that I was on vacation, and we didn't get very much sleep. We had a super duper early flight, and I had made videos for my students. You know, I teach Return to Self-Love Monday through Friday from 7 to 7:30 a.m. California time. And I had recorded classes for the 2 days that I was going to be in the air traveling. But the rest of the days I was intending to just teach while we were on vacation. And I taught the first day, and I was like, hey guys, I'm exhausted because I hadn't slept for 2 days when I taught that day. And then I went to teach that third day, and I hadn't slept very well for 3 days. And I ended up like completely having a bit of a meltdown, crying in front of my class and just being like, hey guys, so I'm going to take the rest of this vacation as a vacation. Kentucky and Indiana, both under my feet, feel a little bit shaky. And I think there's probably something in the astrocartography of that. There's something in the fact that I am used to being grounded and at home in the Bay Area in California. There's just something in that land that was tricky for me. And like, I just don't do great when I don't sleep. I am an 8 or 9 hour a night sleeper. And like, when I go to sleep, I don't wake up a lot throughout the night. Like, I go to sleep and then I wake up in the morning. I'm just like out and then I'm awake. I'm a solid sleeper. And yeah, I was not getting very much sleep, maybe like 3 or 4 hours. And it was rough. And I can't do this work to show up and move energy for other people when I'm in a state like that. The other thing about it is, like, I don't really think I've told you guys this, but I am studying with a teacher right now to become a semi-trance voice channel. And I am loving this practice. It's also about 2 hours of meditation per day. There's 3 separate recordings that I do on a daily basis, just getting myself ready to do this work. It's an honor to do it, and I love it so much. And while on vacation, holy cazoli, having that extra 2 hours that I always needed to get in doing my meditating was rough. Also, my husband got sick, and then also I got sick. So it was just like one of those things where the universe was showing me, as a small business owner, when I go on vacation, I just need to like go on vacation and not put so much pressure on myself to continue to teach. Yeah. I've also been getting the nudge that Return to Self-Love wants to become something else. I've been hosting it on the Member Up platform, and I've become that's coming up for renewal in December, and I've decided not to renew on that platform. It's not working for me in a way where ultimately I feel like it's the right fit. So like I'm going to use this upcoming month of November to really sink into, how does this program want to continue? What does it want to look like? Where are the videos hosted? How does that all work? And I'm looking forward to creating something that works for me a little bit easier. What I'm hearing from Spirit is that it gets to be easier than what I've made it. I gave myself some pretty tight parameters when creating the business. I don't regret anything at all. But because I've learned so much and I've progressed so much in these 8 months of teaching, I absolutely love it. I mean, you want to have be a spiritual entrepreneur and like have a business. Deciding to meditate and channel for students 5 days a week every morning is a really, really, really good way to like get a lot of practice in and learn a bunch of stuff. That being said, I think that the dedication and commitment that I've been looking for from people isn't something that the general public has the ability to want to commit themselves to. So I probably want to sell it in a slightly different way than I have been and not do the monthly membership thing and give people the option of like taking courses or something, or maybe it's like you pay for 3 months at a time or something like that. I'll figure it out, or maybe a month at a time. We will see. But yeah, pivoting away from the way that I originally designed it, I think I built something that looked a lot like what my spiritual teacher, Rennie, had made, because you don't know any better. Like when you're just starting a spiritual business, it's like, I don't know, what does it look like? And she was using Member Up, and I was like, sure, let me try that. I know what it looks like, and I'm super proud of what I built there, but ultimately it isn't particularly cost effective and the people aren't using it. It is majorly a social media platform, a private social media platform, but like we're so close that we'll just text each other, the community, as opposed to using the social media platform the way that it would be intended to be used. So like the main way that Member Up is functioning, the students in their container aren't using it that way, so it doesn't particularly seem like the right platform. Also, I had a student cancel, and the way that they take care of billing and all of that kind of stuff, there's like complication with them leaving, and I don't want any of that nonsense. I need to be on a platform that is easy to navigate for people, and it's it's not quite in alignment. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not quite right. So allowing pivoting and growth, and who knows what the future holds. I'm kind of in one of those moments where it's not exactly a void, but it's a creative pause where the universe is asking me to listen. And I'm definitely in that growth and learning moment, and totally chill and being okay with it. What is meant for me will find me. Everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Everything's fine. There's nothing incredibly exciting to report because it's just about reacclimating, coming home, and getting my bearings again, getting back to doing those 2-hour meditations and really sinking in. It is midday here in beautiful Richmond, California, and I am going to sign off so that I can edit this and get this up for tomorrow morning and sink into that beautiful 2-hour meditation that I was telling you that I need to do. The getting to it, there's sometimes a resistance. The doing it and then the after are magnificent. The after feels like, oh, it's so good. It's so free, open, expansive, delicious. There is some resistance in my head of that, the number, like the 2 hours or whatever. I don't know why, because I always feel better afterwards. I don't know what to tell you. Actually, I can tell you this, and that is that I love you. God, Universe, Source loves you. And I hope that you have a wonderful day.